Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my prediction for Bellator 118, Warren versus Silva, which happens on May 2nd. Eduardo Dudu Dantes was supposed to fight Joe Warren on this card, but he got injured, and now they're going to have an interim bantamweight title fight between Rafael Silva versus Joe Warren. Both of them won Bellator bantamweight tournaments, which kind of makes sense. I also got Koreshkov versus Ortiz on the card. A good light heavyweight match between McGreary and Mike Mucitelli. Marcus Galvao comes back against undefeated Thomas Vasquez. Prelims, kind of abysmal. I mean, you got Darrion Caldwell, so that's cool. You also got Just Let Me Bang, Bro. Julian Lane's fighting. Not many great prospects or anything on the undercard. Eugene Fadiora, he fought at Bellator against Keith Berry. Looked pretty good in that fight too. He's fighting on the undercard, so on the prelim, so he's not too bad either. Yeah, let's just get started. We got Rafael Silva versus Joe Warren. Well, Silva has a 21-3 record with 8 wins by KO or TKO, 9 wins by sub. He's 29 years old on a 13-fight win streak, training at a run of a cow. He actually out-wrestled a good wrestler in Anthony Leon, and even against Rotino, he got a rear naked choke on him as well. So he's a pretty good wrestler. His top control is really solid. He has good submission ability. His stand-ups, it's good. You know, it's not great or anything. It's average. You know. Joe Warren, 10-3 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO. He's 37 years old on a 3-fight win streak. He has Olympic-level Greco-Roman wrestling, strong clinch game, really good top control. He's kind of a grinder, you know. He's definitely one of those. When he gets on top, he uses more stay busy ground and pound than anything else. Super aggressive guy that pushes forward all the time. His offensive stand-up is actually not too bad, but his defense in the stand-up is atrocious, man. This guy gets dropped or wobbled a lot. I mean, the Pat Kern fight was one of the worst beatings I've ever seen. The knockout I get from Alexis Villa was brutal. He got dropped by Patricio Pitbull. His stand-up defense is really bad. This will be for 5 rounds for the interim bantamweight title. You know, it's hard to say. I think Warren has the edge in wrestling, but like I said, Rafael Silva is not a bad wrestler himself, and his ground game, his overall grappling is pretty strong. Like I said, out-wrestled a good wrestler in Anthony Leon. So I can see Warren possibly winning, using his superior wrestling, top control, some ground and pound. I think Silva, though, might have the better overall game. His stand-up's not too bad. You know, like I said, his grappling's not too bad either. It's hard to say because Joe Warren just has such a weakness in his stand-up defense. You know, I mean, this guy just gets hit clean, and he gets to get clean a lot. You know, and his age also doesn't really help him. You know, I know one of the more popular picks would probably be Warren. I'm gonna go with Rafael Silva. You know, I've been impressed with what I've seen from him. Beat some good competition. Arguably, he beat the stronger competition than Joe Warren has. So, I mean, he's beaten the stronger competition in their last tournaments. I believe Silva had to go through Rodrigo Lima and Anthony Leon, whereas Joe Warren went through, I forgot who they were. I think it's, Bender and, I can't believe I remember that one. No, it wasn't Bender. He lost to someone. Is it Corey? Jeez, no. I don't even remember. I just remember they weren't the strongest level of competition for Warren in his last tournament. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Rafael Morcego Silva to win this one. I'd like to see Silva versus Dante in the future. Okay, next fight that, it's a welterweight tournament semifinal as Andrey Koreshkov fights Sam Oropeza. Oropeza has an 11-2 record with 5 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by submission. 28 years old, 6-fight win streak. Training out of Philadelphia Fight Factory. He is a finisher. He's never been to decision. He does have some good stand-up, and some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills as well. He actually knocked out his last opponent he knocked out was Cristiano Souza, decent fighter. Andrey Koreshkov though, 15-1 record, 9 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's only 23 years old on a 2-fight win streak. Training out of Rush fighters along the likes of Shlemenko. He is a strong kickboxer, and this guy knocked out Zaromskis, knocked out Nashar Barala in his last fight. He has some good knees. Punches aren't bad either. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills actually aren't that bad. It's actually his takedown defense, especially from the Askren fight, it is a bit questionable. He's actually not too bad off, on the ground per se. It's not a strength though. Obviously, strength is in the stand-up. I think Koreshkov just has the superior stand-up, and I'll go with Andrey Koreshkov to win this one. Next fight that, Marcus Galvao fights Thomas Vasquez. Thomas Vasquez has a 7-0 undefeated record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 27 years old. One thing to note about his pro MMA record is that only one of his opponents, Brian Hall, has a winning record. All of his other opposition do not have a winning record. So his resume isn't the best. I saw one fight of his against Shelby Graham, in the first round. He showed some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's really active off his back, took his back, went for an armbar, went to triangle, went to omoplata. So he's active off his back. I liked what I saw from his ground skills. But he's fighting Marcus Galvao, man. 15-6 record with a 1 draw, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 11 wins by decision. He also has 3 losses by KO or TKO. He's 32 years old on a 2-fight win streak. Training out of Nova União. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with good takedown defense, and his stand-up is pretty wild. He just throws a lot of haymakers. One thing is, this is a huge step up for Thomas Vasquez. Just a really big step up in competition for him. Galvao is a seasoned veteran. Maybe Vasquez catches him in the stand-up. I don't think he matches him on the ground. I don't even think he matches him in the wrestling department. I got to go with Marcus Galvao to win this one. And next fight after that, this fight is part of the light heavyweight tournament summer series. I don't know if it's a semifinal or quarterfinal. They didn't actually specify. But we got 2 undefeated fighters as Liam McGreary fights Mike Mucitelli. Liam McGreary, 6-0 undefeated record with 3 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 6'6". He is a finisher. He's never been to decision. He has some solid kickboxing skills. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is good, and he's actually won a good amount of his fights off his back as well. So he's pretty active off his back. Mike Mucitelli, 6-0 record with 1 no contest, 1 win by TKO, 4 wins by sub. He's 30 years old, and he's 6'5". He's got some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. Stand-up's decent. I watched his last fight against Ryan McCurdy. He actually got dropped by overhand rights. His wrestling, though, isn't very strong. So his strength is the ground, but his ability to get it there isn't that great. His stand-up, from what they're saying that Ryan McCurdy fight, he had a capoeira background. I saw him utilize a good amount of kicks. His defense, though, didn't look that great. I got to go with Liam McGreary to win this one. I think he's going to be the superior kickboxer. I don't know if he can match Mucitelli on the ground from what I've seen from McGreary. He is good on the ground, though. But, yeah, I got to go with Liam McGreary to win this one. I think he probably has the superior stand-up. Okay, on to the prelims. Dante, let me just say something right now with these prelims. I don't know a lot about the fighters on the prelims. I'm just kind of guessing here. There's a couple guys I've seen fight, like Eugene Fadiora, Darrion Caldwell, Anthony Morrison, you know. A lot of these other guys I quite honestly haven't seen fight. Or else, like, they fought in, like, the Bellator prelims, and honestly, I can't particularly remember what they had. So yeah, skill-wise, I don't remember what they had. So a lot of these are kind of pick-ems. Dante Rivera fights Gemiyale Adkins. Adkins has an 8-6 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He's 31 years old. He's only won 2 of his last 8 fights. Dante Rivera, 15-7 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 8 wins by sub. He's 39 years old, training at Hendo Gracie's. Dante Rivera, though, he fought in the Ultimate Fighter, and I believe he fought Matt Riddle on one UFC card. I think it was that season's Ultimate Fighter finale. He showed some pretty decent wrestling and some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. I'll go Dante Rivera to win that one. Next fight after that, Ryan Contaldi fights Jesus Martinez. Contaldi has a 7-7 record with one draw, 1 win by sub, 6 wins by decision. He also has 3 losses by KO or TKO, 2 losses by sub, on a 4-fight losing streak, training out of Team Bomb Squad. Another notable guy that trains out of there is Desmond Green. Jesus Martinez, 8-5 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 4 losses by KO or TKO. He's 30 years old on a 2-fight losing streak. You know, I'll go with Jesus Martinez to win this one. He has a better record, at least, and not on as bad of a losing streak. That's a pick'em fight for me, though. Next fight after that, Eugene Fadiora fights Tim Woods. Tim Woods has a 6-4 record with 4 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by submissions, and he is a finisher. Eugene Fadiora is 13-1 record, 6 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub. 25 years old on a 4-fight win streak, most recently being Keith Berry. He had some solid stand-up skills. I liked what I saw from him on the ground. I'll go with Eugene Fadiora to win that one. Next fight after that, Darrion Caldwell fights Joe Pingitore. Don't know anything about, never seen Pingitore fight. He has a 4-1 record with 1 draw, 1 win by TKO, 1 win by sub. Darrion Caldwell, 4-0 undefeated record, 1 win by TKO, 1 win by sub. He's only 26 years old. Training out of Power MMA with the likes of Ryan Bader, CB Dalloway, and Aaron Simpson. He is a strong wrestler, has all those accolades you want to find with a wrestler transitioning into MMA. Gotta go Darrion Caldwell to win that one. Next fight after that, Lester Caslow fights Jay Haas. Jay Haas, 11-13 record with 1 no contest, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. Yeah, out of his 13 losses, 12 of them are by submission. And he's only 23 years old. He has a lot of fights for a guy, a lot of losses for a guy that's only 23. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. Lester Caslow, 11-9 record with 1 no contest, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He also has 5 losses by submission. 29 years old, training out of Pellegrino MMA. He defeated Jay Haas before by guillotine pretty recently, till November 2013. I'm going to go with Lester Caslow to win that one. Next fight after that, Julian Lane fights Anthony Morrison. Anthony Morrison, WEC veteran, 18-10 record with 1 no contest, 9 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. His 3 losses by KO or TKO and 7 losses by sub. He's 30 years old, 2-fight win streak, training out of Dadis Fight Camp. Another notable guy that trains out there that I haven't seen fight in a while would be, I forgot his last name. I remember it's Bezeha. Julian Lane, 6-3 record with 1 draw, 1 win by TKO, 4 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO. He's 26 years old. Notable for his tirade on The Ultimate Fighter. That was a really terrible season of The Ultimate Fighter. And his MMA meme of, just let me bang, bro. Otherwise, jeez, wasn't a fan of the guy, to be honest. I think, Mike Ritchie said it best. It's, when he saw that, and then in the interview, he pretty much said, like, it's guys like that really, put a bad name to MMA. It's like we get a certain type of like guy, meatheadish, I guess, type of guy that it sounds like that's what he meant into MMA. I don't know who's gonna win this one. I'll go with Anthony Morrison. He's actually fought some pretty high level competition. Fought Chad Mendes in WC, Mike Thomas Brown, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot who else. But yeah, I'll go with Anthony Morrison. Next fight, after that, Mike Bannon fights Sidney Outlaw. Mike Bannon, 5-1 record, all 5 wins by submission. He also has 1 loss by TKO. He's 31 years old. He is a finisher. He's never been to decision, and he's never been past the 2nd round. Sidney Outlaw, 2-0, undefeated record, 1 win by TKO, 1 win by sub. He's only 22 years old. I'll go with youth here. I'll go with Sidney Outlaw. Gonna say this right now, I don't know anything about these guys. I think I've seen Mike Bannon, though. I don't remember him. Jeez, I have seen Mike Bannon. Or Bannon. I have seen him. I just don't remember. Oh, I'll go Sidney Outlaw to win that one. And finally, Amran Aliyev fights Kevin Roddy. Kevin Roddy has a 13-15 record with 1 draw and 1 no contest. 11 wins by sub, 2 wins by decision. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO and 5 losses by submission. Trained out of Pellegrino MMA. Amran Aliyev, 3-2 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He's 23 years old, training at a Team Bomb Squad. This one's tough because you got a guy with a winning record, but it's not a great winning record. It's 3-2 versus a guy with a lot more experience. Originally I was gonna I usually don't pick the guy up with a losing record, but I think I'll do it here because he has so much more experience. I'll go with Kevin Roddy to win this one. Pick him fight. These prelims aren't the greatest. That's a pick and fight for me, though. Okay, to recap the main card, I have Rafael Silva beating Joe Warren. Andrey Koreshkov beating Sam Orpiza. Marcus Galvao over Thomas Vasquez. And Liam McGreary over Mike Mucitelli. On to the prelims. Dante Rivera beating Gemiyale Adkins. Jesus Martinez beating Ryan Contaldi. Eugene Fadiora over Tim Woods. Darrion Caldwell beating Joe Pingitore. Lester Caslow over Jay Haas. Anthony Morrison beating Julian Lane. Sidney Outlaw over Mike Bannon. And Kevin Roddy over Amran Aliyev. So that's it for my predictions for Bellator 118, Warren versus Silva. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.